So everybody know my name is Sabor Demary. Let me put myself on camera. Sorry, I don't know what my thing is. I am traveling, y'all. So my background may look kind of crazy. I've been traveling for the whole month, and I'll be traveling for the rest of the month. So please forgive me. So my name is Sabor Demary. I am a real estate investor. I am also a co-founder of this program called the Debt Weapon Program. In the Debt Weapon Program, we teach you how to build your credit, leverage your credit profile. And when I say leverage your profile, what I mean is actually how to utilize your bank's money in order for you to invest in real estate, invest in businesses, invest in other type of activities. It can be items that you sell on, Facebook Marketplace, buying cars for Toro, different type of platform. We basically teach you how to leverage. We're not consumers on this call. We are investors on this call, right? So we teaching people basically how to take away the consumer mindset and actually use the investor mindset to actually build wealth. So those are some topics that we will go over tonight. And I implore you all to please listen deeply because, again, it's very important because I can teach you how to get high lines of credit, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 lines of credit. But if you still have a consumer mindset, if you're still conditioned, you can mess yourself up. So it's very important that you have an investor mindset. Any money that we help you get, we want to make sure that you're employing it and making that money work for you in order for that money to make you more money. Okay. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pull up my little PowerPoint that I have started here. Rosie, did you want to add anything? I'm sorry.
No, not at this time.
Okay. Ooh, that's not going to
Hey,
work.
Lord, do you mind if I just introduce a guest that I invited to the call?
Yes, please.
So this week I actually invited two individuals, and it looks like one showed up. Her name is Mrs. Tanya Harding. I met her through LinkedIn, and we were talking about real estate. And she's already an investor. She has a short-term rental. Her and her husband. And we were just talking about ways to invest. And I said, look, you just got to check out this debt weapon program and what Sabor and Rosie and Renee are teaching. So she is on the call right now, ready to learn and engage. So I just wanted to give her a shout out.
Hey, Tanya. So what kind of investment property do you have currently?
Hello. I have a short-term rental in upstate Virginia, in
Okay.
Northern Virginia.
Okay. So in our program, we try to teach people to stay away from rentals. Of course, with us being on the call, majority minorities, we were always taught that the brick and mortar, rental properties was the way to go. That's how you get into real estate. However, what we learned was that say you make $6,000 for that whole year on that property, that tenant moves out, you get a contract to come in. He say it's going to cost you $12,000. Did you win? You actually lost money. So what we started doing was I was an acquisition manager for Wells Fargo for years. Brandon's not on the call. He also worked with Wells Fargo with me too. But so what I learned was that I would buy loans from mortgage companies and sell it from A to B to XYZ, right? So maybe if you own a mortgage, you got a letter in the mail say your mortgage was being transferred from, XYZ to ABC, whatever. So what I learned was that the banks always win. The banks always have a financial heading above us. So what we started doing was called seller financing. We would buy property, fix it up, seller finance it to an end user. Now what happens is that end user goes on title as the homeowner. We go on title as the lien holder, not the landlord. So we are the lien lord, right? Now, if that tenant makes payments, miss payments, make upgrades, downgrade, whatever, that is on that tenant. All we do is collect that monthly payment as the bank does. If you own your mortgage now, I cannot call my bank for a leaky faucet, toilet, or whatever, right? That is for you to call your warranty company. However, the bank still get that monthly payment plus the interest on that loan. Now you take away your appetite or your you having to put in for leaking toilets, faucets, and all that type of stuff, repairs, vacancies, and all that things like that that happens with rental properties. You no longer do that. So we're teaching from going from a landlord to a lease lord. So now all you're doing is owning the paper. Make sense? So
Yes.
you actually win that way. You know, just think on $100,000 property at 30 years. Most of our mortgage notes that we create is roughly between 8 to 10%. So I'm going to a higher level, say 10% for 30 years. That means that 10 is going to pay me 875 for 30 years. After the 30 years, they're going to end up paying me $115,000 in interest alone on top of their mortgage loan, the principal payment that they have to owe me. So total altogether, they'll end up paying you $350,000 on a property of that type versus you having to rent something out, get a vacancy, fix that property up, put somebody else in there, and where you actually end up losing money each time because God knows if you would get a bad tenant in there and they tear that place up, you know. Um, I have a friend recently, she's retiring out the military. She rented out her property, and I was trying to tell her to do seller finance, and she just didn't want to lose control of her home, so she thought. And man, we had to take the doorknobs off. There was so many roaches, cabinets, refrigerators. I'm telling you, and they personally myself, when I used to do rentals, somebody actually took alcohol and carved the word B in the word in my carpet and burnt it. You know what I mean? So those are type of things that you see. Stoves, the stove covers removed. So basically what I try to do is teach people how to be the bank. That way you're always winning. You know, the bank is always winning. So that's basically where our program started from. Just to give you a roundabout. But anything you want to say to the group that you want to introduce yourself about?
Hi, no, I'm just here to just learn. It's on the lines of, husband and I would like to become more passive.
Hmm.
Because, we're in our later years. And so our kids are getting grown and moving out. And so we want to be more passive in our investment. And when Andrew told me about your program, I was like, this sounds perfect. So I'm just here to just get a little a feel of what, to learn a little bit more on, what your program does, and just to, take in and see what you got today.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead with that. Anybody else have anything they want to share with the group? Because y'all know I can get to start talking.
I want to share a quick win, just because last week y'all told me that I could do seller financing with my rentals that I have mortgage notes on, which I didn't really know. I should have been asked, which actually leads to my update. I actually was talking to one of my long-term tenants about it, and they know that the lease was coming up, and I was planning on just selling both my properties outright. But after talking to the group last week, I'm actually going to offer seller financing to one of my tenants. And he actually was ready to jump all over it, to the point where he thanked me multiple times and said that he was already stressing, trying to figure out moving. He uh, would uh, would have stayed as my tenant for years, even with rent increases. But to be able to have an opportunity for home ownership, he was really excited about. So I got to get that process started. But I just wanted to thank y'all for just putting me on to that. I do need help with like the steps and kind of process paperwork, so forth. But he is interested, and I'm ready to get that process started for him.
Yes, sir. You know we got you, man. I told you we got you. But Rochelle and Armando, they actually took they're there now. They've actually took two of their long-term properties that when they before they joined the program and turned them into seller financing. They're working on another one now. So, you know, we definitely all here to help you grow, man, and make sure you're doing the right steps. Um, have we heard back from that other lady yet, Rochelle Armando?
Not yet.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I know she'll come around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know, Andrew, like I said, you hearing him say thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, it's a blessing, man. You know, like us, you know, just randomly, I went to Memphis to go finish the rehab, and I was staying at the hotel for the group, and I was talking to the security guard, and we end up moving him into our new property that we just seller financed. And man, I'm telling you, the love that we get from that guy, man, it's just so amazing. You know, again, he was traditionally locked out. He has good credit. He makes good money, about $7,000 a month, but he just couldn't get anywhere because he messed up some things. He filed a bankruptcy. So, us open up that door for him, man, it's amazing. Like literally, they'll tell you he made a manual payment on the first, he did an ACH payment on the second, and he don't have a payment to January because he's been making multiple payments, because he's so excited. And not only that, he's already minus the repairs that we did on that property, bro. He went in and did the driveway over, put in 6 new windows. There was a back room. He got that wall. He's getting that wall taken out to extend the bedroom. For him, it's a forced appreciation, right? But for us, the bank, we are getting the forced appreciation too, because if he defaults, all we do is take back that property and sell it at a higher price. You know what I mean? So he's helping us at the same time. We're helping him. So, it's a wonderful thing when you're the bank and you're able to help people and see the way the community grows. I see, Rochelle, you want to add something to that? I see your smile.
Yeah, yeah, we're really thankful and grateful to you, Sabora, because yes, I'm glad that he was able to take this property and he's just going to put some love and more, make it more beautiful. And it is increasing the value of the property. So we're just really, really grateful to you for helping us with that process. Yeah.
So Renee called me this week. She had to drop off the line. I don't know if she's still here. I think she dropped off the line. She was very much in tears and emotional about the help and the love and support that we give to this group, right? So with our investment group, we last property, just to give y'all a walk around, Tanya and Andrew, we bought the property about 62K. Ended up selling financing the property for 120. The borrower only put 2% down, and his loan balance started at 117 at an 8% interest rate. I can't remember what the monthly payment is right now, but and plus tax. That was only principal insurance, but he paid taxes and insurance. We always collect taxes and insurance payment for them, and this is something you will be taught in the program, because taxes and insurance are a super lien. You don't want those things to happen, so we basically have an escrow account. If you do a compound on your homes now, you know what an escrow account is. So from there, we went and sold that mortgage note within 1 month, not 3 months of seasoning. We're trying to get paid out this week. Some crazy stuff happened with our servicing company, which is Madison, that they won't get paid out to December the 1st. However, the group is already aware of it and things like that. But they end up going to get like 104,000 off that mortgage loan only after 1 month of seasoning. That's amazing. That's 100% ROI on their money, split 3 ways. So I'm very, very happy to see our team growing. Everybody's ready for their next deal. We're looking at new deals. Unfortunately, the company that we normally buy our deals from, they have a lot of wholesalers pricing. So next month, December the 1st, my investment group, we're going to start looking at MLS properties. It makes it a little bit easier for us not having to pay that extra fee that we have to pay to a wholesaler. So that's just a overall view of what we're doing right now on the investment side. But we're working, man. Everybody's growing, everybody's growing, and I love to see that. So with that, I want to talk about strategies that you can use for credit cards that actually help you grow your wealth. So everybody knows, again, I am a real estate investor, but a lot of times I do not use my funds. I hate using my money. I love using OPM. I love using other people's money. But how do I get to the status or the steps or the stage where I'm allowed to use OPM? I learned velocity banking. Again, without velocity banking, there is no high lines of credit. Velocity banking teaches you how to build banking relationships. It teaches you how to, target banks and other type of credit card companies, not just credit card companies, but home equity lines of credit, personal lines of credit, business lines of credit. Our program is teaching you how to utilize lines of credit, not loans. We teach you that loans are the devil. We want to teach you how to get lines of credit, something that you can pay and use again. So, velocity banking is the only way that I've known to get you there. I know people talk about infinite banking system and things like that. That is not a strategy that I've used, because with the infinite banking system, of course, you have to pay down the principal in order for you to borrow off that life insurance policy. With a line of credit, long as my credit profile looks good, what we call financially sexy, it's a go. I can instantly borrow that money off of my line of credit, buy a property, rehab that property, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So it's really, come here. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second. Sorry, my granddaughter just come in. She want to give me a hug. I don't know. You have fun? Yeah. Okay, good. Love you. So basically, so that's what we got to in this program, and this is what we're teaching to help people to understand how to utilize the strategies of lines of credit. Tonight, I'm talking about strategies on credit cards, but again, you have home equity lines of credit. I know Rochelle and Armando uses the home equity line of credit strategy. You have some people use the business line of credit strategy. You have some people use the personal lines of credit. I use credit cards, and the reason why I use credit cards because you have more perks and rewards, as you will see, that comes with the use or the utilization of credit cards to manifest or make your wealth. Okay. So with that, I want to start with our debt weapon. And y'all have to forgive me. I can't blow my screen up because I'm only working on one screen. Y'all know normally see me with 4 or 5 screens. I'm only have one screen tonight. So I want to use the start with our debt weapon declaration, please. Everybody unmute yourself and follow along with me, please. Our debt weapon declaration is: this is my life.
This is my life.
I declare today my mindset has changed.
I
declare today my
mindset
mindset
has changed.
I am clear about my path.
I am
clear about my path.
I walk in the understanding of my finances.
I walk in the understanding of my finances.
I control my spending habits.
I
control
my spending habits.
Nicosia, why are you laughing at that, Nicosia? I am not a consumer.
I am not a consumer.
I am an investor.
I am an investor.
My money works for me.
My money works for me.
I live in abundance.
I live in abundance.
All things are possible to me because I believe.
All things are possible to me because I believe.
I am financially sexy.
I am financially
sexy.
And I won't give up.
and I won't
give up.
Thank y'all for all entertaining me in there. So for Tanya and those new people that's newcomers, we always start out with our declaration. Our debt weapon declaration basically is to take your mindset from being a consumer to an investor. That is our goal, to help you become an investor. We have a lot of real estate investors on here, or potential real estate investors or business owners on here. And most times what happens is when we come into to the realization that we want to have our own, we go out normally seeking partners, or we seek investors, or we seek angel investors, or we seek capital some type of way. But what we're teaching in this program, you always had that partner in your hand or your back pocket. You just didn't know how to utilize it. So this program is to teach you how to utilize and leverage your credit in order to build your wealth. We're taking bad debt and making it good debt. And that good debt is what's going to make you passive and generational income. And again, we have several people in here. They can all testify to the program and testify to how this program worked for them personally. We have people coming in from anywhere from $500 to $250 secured cards to having X amount of unlimited lines of credit now. Rochelle Armando almost at $1 million lines of credit now on personal and business. The program speaks for itself, but I don't, I'll just leave that for later. So anyways, the whole thing about leveraging your lines of credit, right? It's about determining your risk tolerance, right? You can have cash on hand for the repayment. You can you can have cash flow coming in from one of your investment properties. You can have whatever, but your whole financial goals, right? You have very few options. And one of the few options to actually building wealth is actually how to leverage. Again, I leverage credit cards. And the reason why I use credit cards is because I get cash back rewards, I get perks. You know, I don't have my wallet with me. I get concierge services. I get access to all types of lounge. I get all the travel rewards, points, and all those type of things like that. But the beautiful thing is that I actually get cash back rewards. That cash back rewards, because I put all of my expenses on my line of credit, and I don't pay money out of my checking account anymore, right? Only thing I do with my checking account is to transfer that money to my lines of credit. That allows me to utilize that money over and over again. And I know it sounds kind of strange for those that are new, but those that's been in the program for a while, you've seen the cashbacks and rewards and how your points accumulate or how your cashback rewards accumulate. I think somebody last week made almost $800 in just 1 month of cashback rewards. You know, some people are making 1,100 to $1,400 a month in just cashback rewards. That means that's less money that you have to put out of pocket. And again, most people are paying their bills out of their checking account. You know, right now you're paying your electric bill, your water bill, whatever bills, all those bills out of your checking account, but you're not getting anything for it. But if I take those same bills and put on my line of credit, I'm getting cash back rewards. So I'm actually building my wealth and building my nest egg and building my savings at the same time, just by utilizing this strategy, right? So, one of the things that I've learned, especially as being a real estate investor, is looking for uh, zero interest rate credit promotions. When we apply for new lines of credit, as we teach you apply for new lines of credit, this is both personal and business. I utilize the business credit cards now because I've been in business so long now. And plus, I don't like using personal because personal reports to your personal credit profile. Business credit cards do not report to your personal profile. So a lot of times you can hide that utilization from when you go apply for other lines of credit, as you would learn in this program. But anyways, with the zero promotional interest rate, a lot of times they come with the interest of zero interest rate on the money that you'll take from that line of credit from any type of time frame from like 6 months to 18 months. There are some cards now that are being very competitive with other cards that actually giving zero interest rate promotions for 24 months. So if you have good credit or excellent credit, as we teach you in this program, how to build your credit lines and how to build your credit profile, because there's a big difference between a credit score and a credit profile. We're teaching you how to build your credit profile, not just your credit score. You want to look, again, as we said in declaration, I look financially sexy. So by utilizing these 0% interest rates, so I get a $50,000 card. I find a house for $43,000. I can literally take $43,000 off of that line of credit or use that credit card to buy a property for $43,000 at zero interest rate. We know in our program, I'm going to take $43,000. Our mindset is every dollar out, $2 in. So I may sell that property for 86, but honestly, I'm going to try to sell it for higher, for like 120 with a 10% down payment, maybe 2% down payment, as we did on our last deal. But still, yet their starting balance is 117 at 30 years at 10%. 1 month to 3 months later, I'm going to sell that mortgage note. Remember, I have a zero promotional interest rate for 24 to 18 or 18 to 24 months. In 4 months, I don't sell that property. I'll pay back my line of credit and I cash flow the difference. That's 100% ROI on my money in a matter of 4 months. Nobody's teaching this strategy nowhere besides this group here. So on top of that, you can use your cards, towards other wealth building strategies, such as setting up new businesses or purchasing existing businesses, those type of things. And the main thing is you want to make sure that any business or any investment opportunity you get in, that it's going to be a short-term investment opportunity, because you don't want the promotional period end and you get charged interest. Our goal is that, how you hear of a deadbeat dad, You want to be a deadbeat borrower. You want to make sure the banks don't make interest off of you. And that's what we're teaching in this program, to make sure that you can actually build your wealth, build income, build passive income, build generational income without having to pay large sums in interest. But again, even if I do say get a 26% credit card and after 18 months, that interest kicks in. Do we worry about interest in this program, people in the group?
No.
We do not worry about interest in this group because we teach you a strategy of how to pay off your average daily balance at such a fast pace that the banks don't even have the opportunity to charge you, but maybe $5, $10, $20, max $50 a month. I think Rochelle, you were using this strategy, and how much you end up paying interest once you calculate it on one of your bills one time?
Yeah, I believe it was $153.
Initially, yeah.
Yeah, and interest is all we've paid
A
a year up to this date, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah, for a
that's all
full
we
year.
paid for a full year.
Versus 1,200 or so the
Yeah,
previous year. So it made
ridiculous.
up a huge difference.
Just
Yeah.
by doing the check parking that check there. Yeah, so it's
Yep.
great.
So about in a whole year, not in 1 month, not 2 months, but a whole year, they only paid roughly about $150 where they were paying $1,000 to $2,000 for the whole year previously. So again, it's about learning what's the difference between amortized interest and simple interest. And again, we have the amazing coaches that would teach you all these things in the program and to make sure that you're actually utilizing it. But again, the thing is about building your lines of credit, how to leverage your lines of credit, and to take those lines of credit. And again, I'm talking about credit cards tonight, but how to turn those lines of credit in from debt to good debt, right? We all heard of Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki is a master about utilizing credit to actually build wealth. And he's always talking about changing bad debt into good debt. So, again, credit cards can be used as a tool to increase your credit profile, right? And again, we're not talking about credit score. There's a big difference between credit score and credit profile. There are a lot of people that's out here teaching people how to rebuild or repair or build their credit. The big problem is when you build or repair or whatever your credit, a lot of times they still have a consumer mindset. They're still conditioned to spend. So they're going to build their credit profile up to get back into debt to buy consumerized stuff. A lot of times people come to me and want me to repair their credit. Oh, we're trying to buy a new house, or we need a new car and things like that. And I'm like, well, that's not what we teach, because they still have a consumer mindset. Our program is to teach you how to have an investor mindset. You want your money working for you. If Rochelle and Mondo, they want to go buy another car right now, they're going to say, well, let's put this car that we're going to buy on a platform to increase our monthly income, or let's buy a house first and then we can buy the car and seller finance that house and then buy the car. That way our car note is taken care of and we're receiving that monthly payment for the next 30 years. Most more car loans only max 7-8 years, I think now, you know what I mean? But again, with the strategy we're teaching here, they'll have that new car paid off within a year from 12 months to 16 months, depending on the dollar amount that they purchased that car for. Right. So anyways, a high credit score can earn you, lower interest rates. Banks are very competitive. They offer offers, unfortunately, with us as being minorities, when we do get unsecured lines of credit, the first credit card that we go for, we're looking for no annual fee card. But those no annual fee cards can actually limit you because it puts you in a certain class, which would be a subprime borrower. The subprime borrower, that means you're only going to get a certain amount of borrowing power. But when you start purchasing or taking credit cards that offer higher annual fees, you actually showing the banks that you're investing into yourself, and you'll start getting higher limit cards. You'll get higher perks, you get higher rewards because you're showing the banks or the credit card companies that you are investing in yourself by taking those annual fee cards. I think the highest annual fee card I have now is I think it's like $6.95 a year. But again, because the strategy that we utilize, I don't really pay that annual fee because I know how to utilize my uh, credit profile and also how to spend wisely on that credit card that I actually get so much cash back and rewards that all I do is minus that little annual fee that I have to pay, and I still cash flow off of everything else. Makes sense? So the whole goal is, man, that I want to make sure that everybody understanding this program is practicing, sound behavior with credit cards, like maintaining your on-time payment history, keeping your credit utilization low. How much of your credit profile you're not to use? Somebody give me the answer. Anybody? How much of your credit profile?
Under up to 30%.
30%
No
over
more than
30% of your overall credit profile. 30% of your overall credit profile. Who that was Armando?
yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
So Armando, I think you're at I'm guessing off the top of my head. I can't really remember. So you're at what, 975K in lines of credit?
Right around there, yes.
Okay, so $975,000 in lines of credit. You'll utilize 30% of your lines of credit. That means you have almost $300,000 that you can utilize before your credit score tanks.
Right,
Yep,
right.
So
yep.
as you learn these things in this program, keeping your credit utilization under 30%, not opening too many accounts in a short period of time. We always tell you open up 3 to 4 cards and 1 month at the same time, and then 6 months later you open up your new lines of credit and things like that. Keeping in mind you're not a consumer, right? You have these lines of credit. You're not going out spending $975,000 on BS. You're not buying TVs in every bedroom and buying clothes and shoes and Yeezys to put up on because he's just, what I mean? You're not doing that stuff, right? You're utilizing your money to
Right.
buy property.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just for
investments,
properties
things
and
that
cars.
generate income.
Yes,
So-
not just to buy because we want it, because it's pretty, we need to wait. Building a business.
Yeah, you're building a business, you're building your generation, or you're building your passive income so that you can actually go out and buy and have the things that you want to do, invest in, right? So,
Right.
again, with that, because they're showing the banks that hey, I have these high lines of credit, but I'm not even utilizing 30% of that, you're going to get better terms. You're going to get lower interest rates on your lines of credit. You're going to get, you're going to receive opportunities to invest in other things that you didn't realize that you can invest in previously before joining this program, or previously before changing your mindset from a consumer to an investor. Basically, again,
Right.
the goal is to help you move from a consumer mindset to an investor mindset, or from a real estate landlord to a real estate lease lord, or from a business owner, because there's a big difference between a business owner and an entrepreneur. Business owners are in that business 24/7. They have no systems in place. Entrepreneurs are outside of that business, and that business is working for them. So there's a big difference. We're trying to get you to the steps that you can utilize and move these things too, right? We all know on this call, majority of the people are business owners. 99% of your business is marketing. If my business is not generating income, how do I market? You will have to learn how to use your credit cards at that time to actually market, in order for you to take that debt, that marketing debt, and turn it into good debt, profits off of your marketing efforts, right? So, again, these are things that we're teaching you in the business mastery course, things that we're teaching you on the personal and the business level in order for you to get to the next level. And I'm doing this fast because I want to have a round table for everybody can, give their feedback. So, this is a big thing with us too, is that when we get credit cards, a lot of times, especially on the business level, you're going to get a cash back or a very lucrative sign-on bonus, right? Most times, if you spend $4,000 in 4 months, you'll get $4,000 back, or $125,000. So I'm sorry, 125,000 reward points that can be converted into cash. You know, all these new card holders, right? They have these opening new account, sign on bonuses. But a lot of times when we open these cards previously, not thinking as a consumer, we're not going to meet that, right? But now as an investor, we're looking at manufacturer spending. So some of the things that people do in manufacturer spending is creating invoices, actually sending invoices to back and forth to each other, those type of things to make sure they actually meet those sign-on bonuses so they can actually reap the rewards of those sign-on bonuses cards, right? But previously, most people probably get a new card and say, hey, you spend $3,000 in 3 months, you'll get, $1,500 or even $3,000. We didn't look at that because we didn't think we could meet that. But the way we teach you now, you meet that really fast, like in a matter of weeks, the way we teach you, so it's a big thing, but you want to maximize your sign-on bonuses to make sure that you're actually reaping that free money. Because again, all this stuff is about free money, and that free money actually stops you actually having to spend out of your own pocket, right? So, again, that what it boils down to, essentially freeing up cash flow so that you can use it for other opportunities such as real estate, businesses, buying items to sell on Facebook marketplaces, cars, just think if I don't have to spend $3,000 a month and I purchase a car, my car payment is taken care of automatically and plus some, so I actually have, and that car is going on a platform that's going to actually generate me more income. So I'm not losing. And again, it's all about learning how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And it can be very, very challenging to most people that's coming from a consumer mindset to an investor mindset. It's easy for me because I've been doing it for so long. But the problem is I've been doing it so long, it irks me and hurts me a lot of times to talk to a consumer. I mean, people say, oh, well, I need to get my credit right so I can go buy a house. I need a car. And then I'm like, man, why don't you buy this first and then let that buy your car and then pay for it yourself? I've been doing it so long that it can, and most of you guys know that's been in the program. You've had these conversations already now that that it can irk you to death by talking to some of these people trying to get their mindset to change and see the betterment that we're trying to push forward in their lives. Anyway, so the takeaways, we want to make sure we responsible with our credit card habits. The key is about leveraging your lines of credit to build wealth. The key is to stay away from having a consumer mindset, and it's hard. I always tell everybody, I have a wife, man. She'll spend $10,000 before she yawn in the morning, wake up. You know what I mean? So it's hard. It's hard sometimes, man, to take somebody from a consumer mindset. But especially in relationships, you got to have somebody that balances you out and say, hey, enough is enough. You're killing me right here. But it's going to be important that both parties or at least one party be on the page or the level that we're trying to teach in order for you to actually grow. Again, we always say we're not hustling for our first name. Everybody loves, to have the life, but we're hustling for our last name because it's all about what we're going to leave and what kind of legacy we're going to leave. You know, I was talking to my investment group this week, and we had an opportunity to do some extra things, and they were like, "No, you don't put your money out. You do enough." But again, I feel like my heart is so big, and I actually have the opportunity to help other people. I don't mind helping it, right? But I wouldn't be able to do that previously if I still was doing the old things that I was doing. There was no way I could actually give somebody, $100,000 waiting for a return on their money another month later. But now I can do that without a care or having a worry about doing those type of things. So it's very, very important that you utilize and learn these strategies that we're teaching, and to actually carry yourself and think about, um, am I getting cash back rewards? How do I utilize this credit card to make me more money? If I put this credit card out there, or take the cash off. We teach you how to liquidate this line of credit. Will I be comfortable with that monthly payment until that I see the return on that opportunity, on that investment opportunity? Those are the type of things that's going to help you. And again, it's about it's weird, y'all. We can literally go out and take a credit card and swipe and buy stuff that we don't have the cash for, you know, TVs, shoes, clothing, all types of consumer stuff that we buy. But when it comes to swiping that credit card to actually buy something that going to generate you income, we have a problem with it. There's a fear with it, right? So again, you have to learn how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable and get away with that fear and know that, without risk, there is no reward, but the risk is really minimum when you know the strategies that we're teaching in this program. So with that, I'm going to end and have a round table. I know I went kind of fast. Tanya, please reach out to Rosie or Renee or even Andrew with any questions. I know I can go kind of fast, but a lot of people on the call have heard me say this majority of this information over and over again. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen and ask anybody having issues with their Velocity banking. Anybody have any issues or any new things coming up? Consumer mindset, running into. I know, Coach Rosie. I know you were telling me a story the other day that can maybe somebody can reflect off of. I don't know if she there. So anyway, she probably not there right now. But so she was telling me that she actually had these people that she was supposed to pay, and because she felt like they were bugging her, she's like, oh, they get paid when they get paid. You know what I mean? And she went back to a consumer mindset, even though she had the cash flow, she just felt like they were irritating her. You know what I mean? Those could be things that we run up against or challenges that we face as we move forward in our goals, right? My thing is there was a time and I would probably wait the last minute to pay a bill the last day. Now, soon that bill comes in, I pay it, and I want to pay myself back zero as fast as possible. Because now I have lines of credit. I'm comfortable, but there were times where I would literally feel like these people get paid when I pay them. But now I'm like I enjoy paying my bills. I enjoy having my debts in front of me every month or every week or whatever. And most people know that me personally, I make a weekly payment to all my lines of credit. That is just because I want to continuously build my banking relationships. I got offered actually from the PayPal working capital because I have a PayPal account that some of my investments go through. I have PayPal working. They actually offered me 125K line of credit today. You know what I mean? With the working capital. So, those type of things I want to continuously build, but the only way I can do that is to show them I'm responsible. You know, it's just simple as you thinking about your kids, right? Your kids, they don't clean up the house all week. They don't, do their homework. They're acting out in school. But Friday, they come and ask you to stay the night at a friend house. They're asking you from something, right? But you don't show me that you're responsible enough to get something. So why would I give it to you? It's the same thing that the banks are looking at us as adults. They asking you to have a adult report card, a credit profile that's high. Show us that you're responsible with utilizing your money, not using over 30% of your credit line. They're asking you to pay your bills on time. They're asking you not to have accounts in a collection. They're asking you all these little things as being a parent would ask your children. And you're thinking this is the same thing as a business relationship. I'm asking you to show me that you're responsible. I'm asking to show you so I can award you or give you more. you know and this is another thing too that I want to make sure that the business owners in here, right? There are some business owners here that have built their business as a brand as themselves, such as I, right? But what happens is you'll have a business account and you have a personal account. For example, and I'm not mentioning nobody's name on the call, I know they're on the call, but what happens, they have a business account and a personal account. When they went to apply for a business line of credit, they were not sending all of their money into their business account. They were sending it to their personal account. The reason why they were sending it to their personal account, because their personal account pays dividends, almost 50% a month on the dividends. They pay dividends on the personal. They don't pay dividends on the business. And I get it. I want free money from the banks too, right? So, but what happened was when they went to go apply for their lines of credit, even though their business was bringing in almost 15K a month, they couldn't prove that because they were sending majority of their money to their personal account. Let your money flow through your business. I don't care if you're transferring it from your PayPal account to your business account and then from your business account to your checking account. You have to show your business is generating income, especially with these new type of businesses where they tap into with using, what is it, Plaid? They use Plaid to log into your checking account, your business checking account, to check your 3 months of statement or to check your business statement or your business revenue. But if you're not having the business revenue, we know you're making the money, but they can't see the money because you have it in your personal side. Again, let that money go into your business account, and from your business account, transfer it over to your personal. You can, I don't care if you have 15, you only leave $1,000 in that business account, whatever. They just have to see that transaction. That's what they're building your lines of credit on. So anyways, that person was denied a business line of credit because even though they made the money every month, they just didn't have, their business didn't show the revenue. This moral of the story. You know what I mean? So make sure, your business is showing income coming in and out of that business. I kind of think, anybody have any questions for me? I'm trying to think of anything that I can think of this week. All right, so
I have a lot.
go ahead.
Okay. So my first one is, let's see here. Oh, when you said for every dollar in, for every dollar out, you put $2 in. What was that about?
Oh no, so when we buy our investment properties, our mindset is every dollar out. So whatever we spend on the purchase of the property, the rehab of that property. So say we buy a property for $50,000 and then we put that extra $20,000 in repairs. Because as an investor, we want to get 100% ROI. Our sales price is going to be double of what we put into that property. So 70,000, we'll sell a finance it for 140.
Got it. Okay.
So I'm not sure if I can see if I can show my screen here. I'm on a single one. I'm not used to using a single single. All right, let's see here. And that's a good question. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Can you see my screen?
It's coming on, but I can see it. Yep.
Okay. So let's just say that I went to the banks and I have good credit and I say, hey, Mr. Bank, I would like to take out a line of a loan or a line of credit in order for me to purchase an investment property. Okay, how much would you need? Okay, $70,000 all together between the purchase and the rehab. So just say $70,000 and I have, oh shoot, just say that they charge me $70,000 on this property. I don't know why it won't let me put that 7 in front. 7, there we go. So they charge me $70,000 to say my interest rate is going to be 5% on a 30-year, because we always want to go with the highest term. Most people want to do 5 or 10 years on investment property. Not the way to go, because you're not going to cash flow. Your monthly payment is going to be much higher. So we're going to take the $70,000 at 30 years at a 5%. That means my payment to the bank is going to be $387. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right. So now that we fixed that property up, we're going to find an end user that can't get traditional lending. We're going to take that same property and sell a finance for 140 on a 30%, 30-year term. But this time our interest rate to them is going to be 10%. They're going to make a monthly payment of $1,200 plus taxes and insurance. This is not including taxes and insurance, but just a principal payment of $1,200 minus the $400 that I had to pay to the bank. I would cash flow the difference.
Got it.
So that's why we do every dollar out, $2 in. But again, as you know that we sell our mortgage notes after 3 months of seasoning. So on a $40,000 property, I'm going to click here on schedule. You're going to see after 3 months of payment. It's showing December. Let me go to January. Sorry. So after 3 months of the payment in February of next year, the remaining balance is going to be $139,812. Look how much they've been paying in interest. Look how much been going towards the principal for the last 3 months, right? So that loan is basically still towards the original balance of the 140. I'm going to sell a finance. I'm just going to sell that mortgage loan after 3 months of payment on the secondary market, maybe around 89 to 94% of the unpaid principal balance. See if so that means on the unpaid principal balance, anybody want to pull out their calculator and just round this up and tell me how much we'll sell this mortgage loan for? Everybody do some math. Let's be some investors tonight. Ready? All right, we're going to take 139,000. We're just going to round it up to 139,000. And we're going to sell that mortgage note for, let's say, 94% of the unpaid balance. That means 94%. I'm sorry, 139 times 94%.
130.
Yeah, 130,000.
130, almost $130,000. So the $130,000 they would sell that mortgage loan for after 3 months. All right. So after that 3 months, how much is that ROI? Anybody want to try that part? Yeah, we're not. For my investors on the group, I know people in the investment group, we're not including no down payment or anything on this situation. So just the actual total balance. So how much is that ROI that minus the money we put in minus how much they're going to get back off the 130?
So that's 3 divided by 70. So that's an 85%.
Can y'all still see my screen here? The ROI calculator? Do I need to? Can y'all see that?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to use this ROI calculator. This is what we always use in our investment group to understand how our dollar amounts work. So I'm going to put the amount that I have invested was $70,000, which is we really utilize the banks. We just use our credit profile to apply for the loan. I'm going to take 130 and say this November. Again, we're going to say that mortgage loan was March.
Scroll a little bit.
Sorry.
I think you need to scroll a little bit so we can see it, or maybe my screen is too small.
No, let me stop sharing and then try to go back into it real fast. Maybe that'll help you. Let me know if that helped.
Yep, that helped.
All right. So our invested amount, again, we didn't utilize our money. We went to the bank and got a loan or a line, whatever, for that property. We just basically used our credit profile and got $70,000. So $70,000 was the investment amount. Our return was 130. It's like 130. I'm just gonna round it off. And then we're gonna just basically calculate our months. So March of next year from November, and then it'll show you that our ROI is wrong date. I put the wrong date. 23 coming. 22. They like, oh. So our ROI on that property after 3-4 months was 85%, 86% ROI in just 4 months. Again, nobody's making those type of returns, ROIs, not even the stock market. They max make 15%. Some people say, hey, you invest your money with me, I'll give you 10%. Nobody's making an 85% ROI in a matter of months. So, they had a 60% gain on that property. $60,000 gain on $60,000 gain on that property. I apologize.
Right.
Huge.
So, and so a lot of things, most people, there's a lot of groups that are teaching people how to actually buy mortgage loans, right? But again, you're going to be the winner of creating your own mortgage loans. As Andrew, he's going to be the bank now. If for any reason he ever have to sell that mortgage loan, he's still going to have a higher return ROI. If I go and buy a mortgage loan, even though I'm buying at a discount, I'm not really reaping the rewards because I didn't create the loan. The person that creates the loan actually wins. So again, there's a big difference between creating a mortgage loan and buying a mortgage loan. Okay, guys. I know there's a lot of people out there that buy mortgage. We sell our mortgage loans. Oh, yes, we sell our mortgage loan because there's a lot of investors that don't know how to do what we do. So we sell our mortgage loan, but we love creating our mortgage loan because you see the returns are even greater than purchasing a mortgage loan.
Right.
Right, right. Great.
And Annette, you had another question for me.
Yeah. Oh, when you talked about learning to pay down to pay your average daily balance, so there's not a lot of interest paid.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that just paying every week, or what is that? What are you doing to pay that average daily balance so there's not a lot of interest paid?
I'll let somebody in the group answer that for you. Give me 1 second. Let me open the door for the dog.
Well, it sounds like, what you're asking is about is paycheck parking, where you're pulling your credit and you're using your leverage that you have, but you're paying it down with, say, your paycheck you receive, which is reducing the amount of interest you're being charged on the balances you have outstanding. You eliminate the cost that you would normally have if you carry that loan every single month for a year or two.
So
You're taking it down?
What was that?
Are you taking everything to pay it down?
Well, pretty much as my paycheck comes in, I take that and I deposit it right to my leverage account, which is my HELOC. I'm using a HELOC. And that basically is how they're able to charge me less for using their money because it's calculated on a daily balance.
Got it.
you go back. So does that make sense in that? No, sorry.
They're just depositing the paycheck to the line of credit.
Yes. So basically what happened is that you got to think previously you were using your checking account, right? Your checking account, you paid all your bills, and then from that you lived off the rest, right?
Yep.
So what happens is in our program, we teach you when your money goes to you get deposited into your account, and then instead of paying your money directly from your checking account to your bills are on your line of credit, right? So now your checking account does nothing but your hub. When you get paid, all that money goes back to that line of credit. That lowers or pays off that credit card balances every month. So you don't not pay interest or very, very little interest if you keep a monthly average daily balance. That's what's called paycheck parking. Only thing your checking account is a hub. All your money goes back to that line of credit. And I know it can sound scary to a lot of people that first start out into that program because you're like, I don't feel comfortable spending those $4,000, $6,000 back to that line of credit, right? But the beautiful thing is, once I pay back that line of credit and that money posts, I can reuse that money again. There is no way that you can tell me I pay a car payment, a mortgage payment, or whatever kind of note, and I send that money to them and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Can I get that money back?" They're gonna laugh at you like you're crazy, right? But if I pay it off my line of credit and then I paycheck and I send all my money back to that line of credit, I just created an infinite circle, right? I can pay, use again, pay, use again, pay, use again, pay, use again. I never lose my money. And the higher your lines is, the better leverage you have because you're going to be nowhere near your 30% or nowhere near. You're going to just have infinite money. And that's the beautiful thing about what we teach. You have that infinite money all the time. The guys on the call, especially, I'm not saying nothing bad about the women, but the guys on the call, I sleep comfortably knowing that I have all my family's taken care of. You know what I mean? So Armando, I know you, you know what I mean, you sleep comfortable. Raheem, I know you sleep comfortable.
Right.
Brian, I know you sleep comfortable because your family's taken care of. You don't have to worry about those type of things. Your money's always you always have money basically.
Yeah, less stress.
Stress, thank you.
Yes, less stress. You know, me and Armando, we already stressed ourselves gray, so it's time to relax a little bit. No stress. But yes, so that's basically what it is in the net. Your paycheck parking. We call it paycheck parking because your checking account is no longer good for anything. We don't keep cash. We don't keep a debit card. You know, all of our expenses are all, if we go out to eat, dinner, vacation, everything is on that line of credit, and all of our money from our checking account is, again, it's just a hub. It just to transfer that money from our checking account to back to our line of credit. Soon we pay that money back, it posts, we can utilize that money all over again.
Got it. And so for business owners that don't get money every 2 weeks, is it just depositing it when you get the money?
Yes, but yes, it is. Whenever you get money, but the major thing is you're gonna get cash back rewards. That goes back. You can put that back to your credit statement. I don't care if it's a penny you find on the ground. You know, your goal is to pay yourself back to zero as fast as possible. The faster I pay the back to zero, I'm building a banking relationship. I have that money to use over again. I mean, there's so many things that the rewards of paying yourself back to zero fast, right? So now with Armando or Rochelle or whoever on here, your whole goal and your whole focus is to pay that line of credit back to zero. After 3 months, after 3 months, I made all my payments on time. I built my credit profile. My credit score is going up. After 3 months, I'm going to go back to that same credit card and ask for a credit line increase. They're going to look at your payment history. They're going to look at your banking relationship. They're going to look at this and say, okay, we can take this person from a $50,000 card and trust them with an $80,000 card now. So that increases your credit line every 3 months. Or you know what I mean? Those type of things. So this is the most beautiful thing about what we teach is because not only are you just not paying yourself back to zero, you're setting yourself up for the future to actually get higher lines of credit by showing them that you're responsible and know how to utilize your credit wisely.
And you're right about that, Sabor, because on the HELOC, that's what they do. They're sending us these 0% because they're like, you're doing so wonderful. We love the way you borrow and you pay it back, and you borrow and you pay and you borrow, and you're responsible and you're dropping that money on there. We're going to send you a 0% APR for a year. They're giving us these offers. So they're saying, okay, now you have this, and they can attach it to the first HELOC and put a second HELOC. We took advantage of one of them because we're trying to show them that, like you said, Sabor, it's that relationship. You know, you're right. Right.
And does it matter? Excuse me. Does it matter which credit card?
No, it doesn't matter which credit card you
We're
use.
talking about the type of credit card.
No, not necessarily. Are you talking about business or personal now?
Personal.
No, not really. I mean, honestly, I would definitely say you want a cashback rewards credit card or a balance transfer credit card. I wouldn't just do a credit card that don't offer rewards. Um, Again, the whole goal is for you to build banking relationships. But if by chance you're coming in the program where you don't have a rewards card, by all means, utilize the strategy until you get to the point where you get those reward cards. I know, like what was it? I want to say Capital One Platinum card. They don't offer cashback rewards, but if you continuously do good for the next 2 months, they will automatically send you a letter and say, "Hey, we're going to switch you over from a platinum card to a Quicksilver." The Quicksilver is like 1.5, so now you're moving yourself up to the next stages. You know, I am way past the Capital One cards now, but I always tell people, you know, Capital One cards is a subprime card. Once you get to a certain level and you get rid of that Capital One card, by all means, get rid of it. You know, I utilized Capital One credit card for years just to add authorized users on there because my credit limit was so high, and but I didn't utilize it. And it was one of my older cards too. You know, when we start talking about adding AUs, you know, a lot of times it's about adding AUs, authorized users for that. Don't When you're talking about adding AUs onto lines of credit, you know, to benefit each other, a lot of times it comes with the age of the card. So that Capital One card happened to be one of my oldest cards, even though I didn't use it. So I just kept it and added AUs to it. So, you know what I mean? But, you know, it depends, you know, there's no certain card. I like Chase. Chase has the best rewards right now that I've seen. I utilize Chase. Discover is good too. I use Discover for years. I showed the group how I use Discover. So if I buy property, my Discover card, I actually can go on my Discover card and do a balance transfer from my actual card to my checking account. I don't have to go through the other steps that we normally have to do to liquidate a credit card. Chase also offered that same function where I can do a balance transfer from my credit card directly to my checking account. So just say I buy a property and they ask me how I'm going to pay for that property. When we put in our bids as the investment group, when you put in your bids, they're going to ask you, what are your financing options? Is it going to be financing or cash? We always put cash. And once our offer is accepted, all we do is go to our lines of credit and transfer it directly to our checking account. So when we close, that money is already there. It normally takes
Got it.
a day for the balance transfer to happen. Not even like a day, 24 hours, max 48 hours for you to transfer that money. But again, most of the time our closing takes a week to 2 weeks. But as soon as I get the offer accepted, I just go ahead and transfer that money. That way it's sitting there and I can go ahead and send it to the title company for closing.
That's great.
Mhm. Anybody else got a question about that? I know that we do it so much that it can seem easy to me, but I know it can seem kind of hard to most people getting started with real estate investing and leveraging your lines of credit to purchase real estate. Raheem, Rochelle and Armando, let's talk about your last in property when you went to go leverage your credit or your lines of credit to purchase the property. Was it hard doing that balance transfer from your did you use your credit card or use your HELOC to buy the property?
No, we use a credit card, like you were saying, we wanted to try that, so it was not difficult. We went ahead and used it through Plastique because they offered a good fee. What was the fee on that one, Vince?
It was like less
It
than
was really
2%. It was
low.
like 1.8% or something like that. It was a
Yeah.
small fee to transfer the money. So we went ahead and transferred out of the card. And we had 18 months, I believe, of no interest on that one. So it covered the entire span, right to about the end. So I mean, we'll see maybe under $200 worth of cost, but for borrowing $20,000, it's like it didn't cost anything really.
And it was, I think, a $53,000 credit card limit. So we borrowed the 21 because we said, well, we're going to try this. We want to try how you can actually leverage your credit. Like, it's not your money. You're not having to use your money to do it. You're just borrowing someone's money so that you can purchase this. And then I'm only making minimum payments while we're holding the property, while we're doing what we got to do with it. So it's doable.
And we also,
not to
mention, we had rewards of, I think it was 2.5% or something like that back away. We got $700 of cash back. So I mean that went right onto the balance. So we actually benefited there. That was free money that helped pay it down. So it worked out well. So I mean we're ahead of the game. It definitely worked out good for that investment. The credit cards are a better choice because of the benefits and rewards they offer. The HELOC doesn't say offer that, but still you can utilize a much larger sum when you have something else to back it. And that's why we had started with the HELOC. But now we
didn't even know we had ability to do that with HELOC. We got the HELOC, but we didn't know we could live through it like that.
Right.
Like we just knew, we have that, in case we find a property, we can jump on it. We didn't know like all this other stuff about credit cards.
It makes more sense.
Yeah.
What is the name of the card you said that was good? You said best.
The card that we used for that was an Amex card. It was Amex Gold that we had. It was a Delta. And we also just recently
used the Chasing for.
that was Chasing. Sorry.
Chasing.
Chasing. I had a $56,000 line of credit they gave me on that one, which was amazing. And I've noticed that Amex is a very good card as well. I still have used Capital One. I have an older one, but I have a new one we just got. They gave me 30 grand just recently and paid us $700 for using that one. We spent $6,000, which were some costs we were going through, and we just got another $700 out of that. So I mean, we're trying to reap any rewards that are out there. Any benefit cards are out there.
And we didn't really spend $6,000 on that card. Just to rephrase that, we actually wrote ourselves. We paid ourselves. Like $2,300. I'm not just spending it. I mean, it's for the business. So we like any repairs and stuff, we're trying to capitalize on cash reward cards
You're
for the
break
business.
you're breaking up a little bit. We're breaking up a little bit. I think you're too close to your mic. But yeah, they did manufacture spending on the Capital One card that they were actually able to meet that $6,000. They didn't go blow or buy computers and all that stuff like that for the businesses. They actually did manufacture spending to actually increase their meet that limit so they can actually get that cash back rewards of almost $800 back.
And that is on 0% interest as well right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, where we paid back a chunk of it, we show a couple of payments, so that way it shows activity going through, and we're putting big numbers back onto the card. It shows for future improvements on what they're going to offer us.
And it's impacting our NAV because we've been getting some notices that a trade line. So they're seeing that we're making these big payment on it. So you're borrowing and then you're dropping that payment on it. So they like it. They're
Yeah.
seeing that. Mhm.
Improving our credit for our business as well as ourselves. It's all a win-win.
Mhm. It's discipline, like you said, so far.
Yes, it's very much discipline, but it's a beautiful discipline though, because you're not only learning that, you get there's an excitement that comes with that though. Yeah, I think Armando used to pay the bill, so he left some of the responsibilities over to Rochelle. So Rochelle, there's a beauty in it. You know, like even when you take that money into the banks, right? You know, they know you now.
Yep.
So
They know me. They know me.
yeah, they call you the payoff lady now,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah. Yeah. The principal girl. Yeah.
yeah, the principal girl. So there's a big difference that you get. So, but
What is manufacturer spending?
manufacturer spending.
Yes.
I'm sorry, who asked that question?
Minute.
Oh, okay. So manufacturer spending is basically a strategy that we teach in our course. So when you have new credit cards that offer, again, introductory rates or cashback rewards, and you have a certain amount of money to spend in a certain amount of time in order to get those benefits, we create what is called manufacturer spending. The manufacturer spending is not that I'm going to go out, because most of the time they want you to blow up your credit cards, right? Or they want you to spend and have a balance. What we're doing is creating a false balance in order to pay that thing off at the same time so we can reap those rewards. Manufacturer spending. I'm not really blowing up my credit card. I'm utilizing my credit card to reap those rewards, but I'm paying them back off at the same time.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. But there's different strategies of manufacturer spending in our program. You know, one of the easiest strategies, like I said, Rochelle and Rosie, you know, for example, you're gonna take those two, they're both business owners. And so Rochelle will write an invoice to Rosie because Rosie got a new card. Rosie would, you know, pay that credit card with that invoice. I pay that invoice with that credit card. Rochelle would send back that same money back to Rosie. Rosie would put that money back to her credit card. That's a form of manufacturer spending. You know, those things like that. There's different ways to manufacture spending. There are some harder ways, but we do the easiest ways. We teach the easiest ways in our program, so you can reap the rewards and benefits of having those new lines of credit with zero interest rates and things like that. And again, you know, like for them, for example, say they had that new card, it was a Chase Freedom Inc., and we bought another property and they were putting another $21,000. By taking that $21,000 off that line of credit for that property, you know, we split it 3 ways, right? You know, amongst the investors, not just the property didn't cost 21, just to get that clear. But when they split it 3 ways, there was a group of investors, and they put it as a group of investors. They took $21,000. They automatically met that manufacturer spending.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about using lines of credit for marketing your business.
Yes.
Is that just the same strategy?
I mean, no, not. I mean, honestly, I mean, not really. I mean, you have so many social medias. Most people are going to market their business on social media, right? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. But all of those things come with they call as a boost. If I post something on my business page, they're going to say at the bottom down there, boost. right? If I don't have income coming in, how am I going to boost? Or how am I going to meet new customers? How am I going to meet a target audience? I'm going to have to pay for that, right? So I utilize my credit card, but by utilizing that, I'm getting cash back rewards. At the same time, I'm reaching new audience and target members. Unfortunately, there are internet trolls, but most times you just have to ignore that. And you're going to meet new people from your targeting efforts and from your marketing efforts, and from there you would actually end up growing new clientele. So that is a form of boosting or using credits to reach new people. You can post, and again, it's about business owners on here, right? We all know it's about building your brand, right? I'm trying to build a debt weapon program. It's not my business, but I'm trying to build something. I'm trying to build a new brand to reach more people, teach more people about what we're doing, right? So in order for me to do that, I have to post. But if I'm posting just to my friends or my public, even if I post public, there's no guarantee that majority of people are going to see my post, right? So now I have to boost my post. That boosting is a form of marketing. So that marketing will reach, it depends on how much money you want to spend in your marketing efforts with the boost. Now that reaches that marketing, say that I put $100 for, I think, 5 days of marketing, it's going to reach 2,000 to 3,000 people. My boost will reach, they will send that out to 3,000 people, my boost. That's a marketing. Out of that 3,000, I get 4 new people sign up for my company. Again, that's what it's about. Internet.
Got it. That's excellent.
Mm-hmm. And then again, anybody that's on here, a business owner, 99% of your business is going to be marketing. There, you are going to have to market. If you do not market, you're going to find yourself thinking about going back into the workforce. You know what I mean? But then you're going to go back to the workforce and you're going to be what is called an internal employee, right? There's a difference. I mean, an internal customer. There's a big difference between an external customer and an internal customer. Most time an internal customer is an employee, but that internal customer is actually marketing that business for another person. So why would you put those same efforts, 40, 60, 70 hours a week for a minimal paycheck when you can actually put that into your own business with no cap? And again, it's about conditioning and people being conditioned and not wanting to put the same work into their business as they would do for somebody else's business. I don't know if y'all ever seen that thing on Facebook. There was a guy, he was standing next to a Lamborghini, and his employee said to him, "Oh man, that joint is nice." And the dude said, "Man, you keep working hard and putting in them hours and talking to people like that, I'm gonna buy another one next year." You know what I mean? So, don't you know what I mean? So don't put in the work for somebody else if you can put in the work for yourself. It's about learning how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I mean, I started my business out. All of my businesses I've started out, man, just like with the same mindset. If I don't hustle, we don't eat. I'm not working for nobody. So if I don't hustle, we don't eat. You know what I mean? And once you get to that level and start thinking like that, it's going to force you, compel you. Everybody, Brian, everybody know I'm up all night long. They can call me any time of the night, and I'm just, I'm grinding it out. Because I know if I don't hustle, my family don't eat, and I don't feel like I want to put the same energy into somebody else's business, and they give me a cap. They give me a salary. You make $50,000, $60,000. Oh, I may make $100,000 a year. You know what I mean? Why would I want to do that when I know I don't have a cap on my own actual gains?
All right.
Anybody else got a question? Brian, you quiet tonight, man. What's going on? Nope, nothing. Nikosha, you was laughing earlier. What's that about? Taylor, hello.
Hello.
Nikosha's still laughing. What you laughing about, Nikosha?
I'm just laughing at you.
Oh, what's going
Oh,
on?
I have some good news. I don't think Renee's on here, but let me go ahead and throw it out. So I got no, was it? Yeah, Capital One credit card for 2,000
Okay,
this week. I got
nice,
approved for it.
nice. Congratulations.
So I'm moving up.
You moving on?
Congratulations. Good job.
Congratulations.
Now, have you targeted any new lines of credit? That was the only line of credit that you target, or
Yeah, Renee and I applied to some more, but I didn't get anything yet. I only got that one. So
okay. Now
just waiting.
the ones that you were denied, did y'all call the reconsideration line?
Well, no, we did the pre-approval first.
Oh, okay, because you didn't actually have. Okay, you got. So you didn't really get denied. You just
Mhm.
did a pre-approval, and they said we're not willing. We're not.
Yeah, we did the pre-approval and then,
Okay.
right.
Nice
They
job.
said not at this time.
Nice job. Nice job. So
Well,
just a nugget for those that's not in the group yet. So when you go apply for a line of credit, we always tell you to try to look for lines of credit that offer a pre-approval. There's not a lot, but there are many that have good options. You know what I mean? So you'll go to a pre-approval. That pre-approval, without having to spend or waste an inquiry, would tell you how much they can give you on that line of credit, or if they cannot. Now, on the other end of that, spectrum, if you actually apply for a line of credit and they come back and deny you, do not take that denial as a lay down. Do not, and same thing, if you go ask for a credit line increase, do not take that as a lay down, oh, I'll apply again later. There actually is a number called the reconsideration line. All you do is Google the name of the card, Capital One reconsideration line, Chase reconsideration line, whatever, Citi reconsideration line, and you'll talk to an agent. And a lot of times they will go ahead and award you or increase you just by making those phone calls, or they're explaining, hey, wait till the 10 days you get that credit card, that letter, that denial letter in the letter, and then call us back to reconsideration line. That's just a tip for those that don't know. But anyways, I don't think I have anything else I can think about tonight. I just want to make sure that we all understand that the goal is to utilize your credit, build your lines of credit. Not only that, not a credit score. I want you to build your credit profiles. Credit profiles. What is a credit? Anybody can tell me what a credit profile is that's in the group? Anybody? So building your credit profile is removing old addresses, old employers, old variations of social security names, social security numbers or names, those type of things. You want to be straight to the point, removing all types of negative items on your credit profile that actually boosts you up. Again, credit bureaus cannot discriminate against you off race, color, or creed, right? But they use zip codes. If I have a zip code where I used to stay in the hood or in a bad area years ago, and that same address is still on my credit profile, they give you a credit rating based off of your area, not just as your payment history. So zip codes actually affect your credit profiles. So, again, we want to help you build credit profiles, not just credit scores.
So, I have a question about the new membership option you guys have. Like it's like a monthly fee. What's the difference between? Well, I guess what would be the big difference between doing that and being a part of the other programs? Like, I guess,
So the monthly,
would it be a lot of things you don't get?
yeah, you don't get a lot of things. So with the courses, of course, you get the course material that you can do at your own pace. With the $150 monthly membership, is basically a DIY. I mean, you'll get the credit repair letters that we have. You'll get the velocity banking worksheet, and then you'll get, of course, the Friday calls. But with the course material, you'll get step-by-step guide. You'll get just for example, just using the investment group, because I teach the investment group. The investment group, we go over lesson plans. Every lesson plan that we go over, we go from A to Z, from where we started from, as a recap, to make sure everybody's following along, so they'll be able to do their own things on their own. They get one-on-one group meetings, one-on-one meetings with me. Then they get group meetings. They get the course material, as Rochelle call it, her Bible. You get so many things, man. You know, like not only that, we don't just talk about investment. We go on to other things that mindset, things that employ our lives, things that we're using or trying to do. Not only that, for an investment group, anybody that's in the investment group, when we get our next property, they're the first to be asked if they want to be part of the next deal. You know, those type of things. With the 150, you're basically getting the um velocity banking worksheet and also the DYI credit repair ebook, and it's basically do it yourself. I mean, you have the Friday calls to ask your questions, but majority of this time it's just basically doing it yourself, Taylor.
Got you. Okay. If
Mhm.
you were to start out with that membership, can you roll over into the other ones, or you would just
Yes.
basically?
Yes, any membership that you
Okay.
start in, I don't care if it's even if it's a course, if you started with the velocity banking course and then you wanted to go to the business course, anything that you pay for that velocity banking course would be credited towards your next course going up, and anything that you paid in the membership will be credited towards your course if you want to go to a course. Most people started like that in our group. They started out on the membership and what they paid into the membership. We calculated how much they receive a coupon, and that they will put in a code and when they purchase the course, and they'll give them a savings. I think Nicosha, Brian, Rochelle, Raheem, most of the people on the call tonight actually did it the same way.
Okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And I know, you know, sometimes, you know, hearing somebody say $3,000, $6,000, $10,000 can be very scary, especially not knowing everybody got a scam out there. Honestly, I mean, it's my company, it's my it's my baby, so I'm going to say, I promise you, you're going to make 10 times, especially the information that you're going to gain, the resources that you're going to get, all types of stuff. But you know, again, you don't take my word for it. Talk to the people that's in the group. Talk to, you know what I mean? They'll tell you the stuff they see, you know what I mean? The rewards, the lifestyle, you know, the lines of credit they've seen, you know, the anything that I mean you can think of. I'm honestly, it's my baby, so I could tell you all the beautiful things that you want to hear. But again, it's very different when you coming from somebody that's actually manifesting and doing the work, right? So, and, you know, I'm going to say this: me and Rosie, Renee, and we're creating a brand ambassadorship for the people that's actually been doing the course, because we want to keep them growing too. But it's, it's amazing, y'all. I'm telling you, it's amazing, man. Just for me to watch how many properties we took down last year and this year, how many people have growing their lines of credit and actually continuously growing, and how fruitful everybody's been, how people lives are stressed a little bit more stress free from what they're learning in this program. I'm happy and I'm grateful to all you guys, basically. But I'm definitely want to say that you know, it's been a wonderful journey to see everybody grow.
Thank you again. I'm stepping into another meeting. I really appreciate you. This is loaded
Okay,
with
no
so much
problem. And
value.
Rosie will reach out to you tomorrow. You have a blessed night.
Thank you. Take care, you all.
Yes, ma'am. We about to get off this line too. Anybody else have any other questions? I know it's past our hour here. I'm sorry.
You,
Yes, sir.
hey, I guess I don't know if this is a good time to ask for the investment group. Are we still, uh, I guess, searching for a new property, or the one that you sent earlier this week? Is that gonna be the next
No, so
plan we want to take down?
the investment group was going to stay on the line after the call tonight, but we have 8 new properties that I've put offers in. So again, the problem is there are a lot of the properties that we've been reaching out to, and come to find out they're wholesalers. So we're seeing a property asking, you know, $70,000, $80,000, and then when we go do the appraised value on it, it's only coming in at 53. We go back to the sellers, I mean the company that's holding them, and be like, hey man, where's these dollar amounts coming from? Oh, they're wholesalers. I'm like, I'm not paying a wholesaler no $20,000-$30,000, right? Over appraised value. I'm an investor. If I was a homeowner, so there's been an argument back and forth. We do have 8 new properties that we prospecting. And also, I think we said we're going to wait December 1st, Rochelle, and we're going to start attacking the MLS market. Was it December 1st? It was like December 1st or 5th.
Yeah, December.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
probably catch people sleeping because it's the holidays, so we might be
Right,
able to get
yeah.
some
Yeah,
good
we
ones then.
we try to
Yeah.
get them in during the sneaky part of the year
Mhm.
when people are not really buying.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So we said we're going to wait to
Yeah.
December 1st and 5th and start attacking the MLS. But I do have 8 offers in right now, and things like that. But another thing is too, right now I do have new boots on the ground, in our market that we're buying in that actually go prospect my properties because he actually live in the area now. A lot of time we were contacting our contractor to go do have boots on the ground. Our contractor stays 2 hours away from those properties. So, and even when we put an offer in, we're putting in an offer with a contingency of pending inspection and a buyer's interview, right? If they have a tenant in place. Our contractor's been very, very busy, and plus him being so far away, it's been really hindering a lot of the offers that we put in. So he haven't had the freedom. So what happens now we actually have boots on the ground. An investor that I actually bought properties with for years now actually sold his property in California to move to my market. So now we have boots on the ground that actually want to do more deals with me and our group together. And he has long money. So so it's a good thing coming around. Yeah, me and him
Yeah,
personally.
we also reached out to another we reached out to another investor that possibly is going to be, or he just moved to the area, so he's going to be also another boots on the ground that we're going to have access to.
I think his name was Juan Canton.
Mhm.
So
We'll send you his information again. I think I may have emailed it.
definitely, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been beautiful, Brian, man. We got new boots around. We got new contractors that's in the area. And we got a contractor that's wanting us just to buy the property, and he wants to move in and do his own rehab on the property. And he said whatever we charge him on the fee of that property, he's willing to pay. I mean, he's a I-9 employee, so he can't really show papers. Basically, not illegal, but he just don't have the citizenship. So, but those type of things. So, but he has a wonderful company. His work is excellent. So we have a lot of new opportunities that was coming up next year that we just going to start banging them out, man.
That's right.
Sounds good.
Yes, sir. So we're done for the night. Anybody that's in the investment course, I ask that you please stay on the line. Just give me 10 minutes of your time. Because we haven't met last week. So I just want to make sure we have a meeting, and that way we can go ahead and start rocking and rolling on the next one. But besides that, everybody have a blessed one. I will see you next Friday. Andrew, always a blessing, man. I'm glad you looking good. I see you over there.
Thank you.
I see
Good
you.
night.
Good night. Good night. And Tanya, thank you for
Good
joining.
night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.